background, Australian Cybersecurity Centre created the ISM. They created the top 4, spawned from that, Central 8, based off the ISM, 700 controls, way too big for most organisations. So ACSC responds to organisations that have been breached in Australia, anyone that has an economic impact, and so through that response, they've learnt things, they've learnt lessons, what works in the real world, and they've distilled that down to 8 controls.
Yeah, I think with patching, it's just do it. You want to make sure you are patching. So start from your most critical and work your way down. It is a matter of how do you prioritise that remediation. So an important factor is knowing what you have in your environment.
I think you mentioned earlier around know what you have from an application perspective and multi-factor authentication. It's just as true, if not more important, with assets and vulnerability management, really knowing what you have. And so few organisations really have a good handle on what they have, therefore what risks apply, what vulnerabilities apply, therefore trying to keep across those vulnerabilities.
Backups is basically that if all your things break, how do you restore, how do you bring it back? So you work upon the assumption that you can't prevent every and all breaches. So your backup strategy aims to provide for that recoverability. It's really just, you wouldn't want to assume everything's working as it is. You want to be testing constantly and consistently.
Right, so if you're a particular superannuation fund who did things by the book, your backup is stored in separate locations from your main workloads. So if there's an issue with your workload that goes down, you lose access, you can back up from somewhere that's kept off-site, somewhere separate.
So from a security perspective, the immutability of backups really needs to be validated. Yes, you have all the right backups, but using a sequence, accounts, service accounts, reuse, privilege escalation, can I interrupt your backup regime? Can I take that out of production? Can I mess around with the integrity of your backups and then 3 months, 4 months, 6 months later come back for the real attack? Thanks, guys. Lots of learnings over the years, over the projects. Lots of context, user base, super important. Yeah, I imagine we'll keep learning and finding some edge cases.